I'm here to answer your questions about final expense insurance, funeral insurance, cremation insurance. As we get older, I'm a senior, we start to think about this. We're not immortal anymore like we were when we were in our 20s. We start to realize we do have a best before date. Anyway, I'm here to answer those common questions. I hope it'll be helpful to you. My name's Burton Langille. I live in Nova Scotia, and I am an insurance advisor. I've been in the insurance business a long time, probably thousands of people. So I hope this will be helpful. Now, the first question might be, well, what is final expense insurance? Final expense insurance is typically a small policy, somewhere between $5,000 and $25,000. It's a permanent policy. The premium stays fixed for your lifetime, and it lasts your lifetime. If you pay the premium, the insurance company cannot cancel the policy. So when you buy one of these policies, now sometimes the person has to pay the premium for the first 2 years, and if they pass away, they get the premium and some interest back. And then the insurance kicks in. That's if a person has had some real serious health issues. Now, if you don't, then once the policy is approved, and it's a simplified process, then you have created that much money in your estate. That can be used to pay for a funeral, can be used to maybe pay some capital gains on some land or something that you own, something to help your children. But the typical thing is funeral expenses and maybe a little extra money as a gift to somebody. So that's final expense insurance. It's pretty simple and it's very consistent, easy to do. And it's typically, you won't be undergoing any medical tests or that. It would just be some simple questions to answer. How is it different from regular insurance? Well, when you were working, maybe when your children were young, you had group insurance or term insurance. That was temporary. It's for a period of time. 98% of the time, these policies expire and never get collected on. Thank goodness. Who wants to pass away young? But then there's permanent insurance, whole life insurance, that covers us for our entire lifetime, keeps the premiums level, and is, as long as you pay the premium, like I said, it is part of your wealth to pass on. And typically the policies are smaller because we're older when we're buying them. And we don't have to replace the family income. It's not about that. It's about just not leaving bills behind for our children because we care about them. A good friend of mine once said that there are only 2 reasons to have insurance. 1 is to pay money we owe, and 2 is because we love people and we want to look after them. Now, another question would be, well, how much does this cost? It depends on your smoking status, depends on your age. It does depend on your health status. And I have a number of questions I ask you that will identify this, and then I can quickly give you the premium for it. Typically, it's going to be the cost of 2 or 3 coffees a day, depending. I mean, if you only want $5,000 of coverage or $7,000 of coverage, then it's going to be less than $25,000, of course. The average cremation in Nova Scotia costs between $7,000 and $10,000. You might want to add a little bit for inflation because hopefully you're with us a lot longer than now. And the average funeral in Nova Scotia is $10,500. And I believe most people are choosing cremation today. Next question. Can I qualify if I have health issues? People are often surprised that they can get regular insurance in their senior years, even though they have some health problems, or they've had maybe a heart attack 7 years ago or something, or they had cancer and it's been in remission for a number of years, or they had a stroke, and again, there hasn't been any symptoms for a while. Now, if it is something really serious, of course, to protect these policy holders, then the insurance company has to take some care. And the solution they've come up with is what's called a guaranteed issue policy. A lot of people don't believe me when I tell them this is possible, but up until about age 80, you can buy this insurance. And what happens is the first 2 years, if you pass away, your family will receive what you paid into it plus some interest. After the 2 years is over and you are still with us, then you will get the full sum insured. Your family will get the full sum insured. And I don't make light of this, but I'm a senior. I understand, and I think the reality of it's dawned on all of us by this point. I hope that is clear, but don't worry. I can help you with this, and we will figure out if it makes sense for you. I'm just your resource, okay? It doesn't really matter to me a whole lot if you decide yes or no, but I want to make sure that you have the proper information. Who gets the money? Well, when we do this, you are going to list beneficiaries, and those are the people who will receive the money. Typically, the payout is very fast, 3, 4, 5 days. It's just a case of getting the death certificate or the funeral certificate. And funeral homes know how this works, so don't worry about it. But make sure you tell your family what you want done. That's the important thing, because often the kids they're in grief and that, and they want to respect us, and they want to do us proud, and they may go overboard, which is not necessarily our intention. So remember this. Make sure your plans are clear. And it goes with the end of life too. My daughter's a nurse, and she tells me stories, doesn't tell me who it's about, but people who have strokes and different problems, and the family doesn't know what to do because the person hasn't given them any indications. And sometimes they would not want to be resuscitated. They don't want historic things. They don't want to be fed through tubes or whatever. So we have to let our family know what we want. And it's important to have a will also. Be clear. Have a will. You don't have to go to a lawyer to do it. It can be a holographic will. Just message me. I'll tell you what that's about. These are very important things to do. And you only have to do it once, right? Just do it, get it done, make sure your family knows where your documents are. They know where your bank accounts are. They know what you want done. And then it's done. You don't have to worry about it. You'll have peace of mind at this point. Next question might be, well, you have some savings. Isn't that enough? It may be enough if that's what you want done with your savings. Maybe you want to pass it on to your family. The other thing is funerals are getting more and more expensive. $10,500 on average, and probably going up by more than the normal cost of living. So plan for inflation also. 10 years, it could cost 25-40% more money. So when you create this insurance policy, you have created a sum of money that is available. That's the beauty of it. It's just pennies for dollars. Now, what should you do if you want to get the information? Talk to your insurance advisor. Talk to me. Send me a message. I'm licensed for all of Nova Scotia. We generally work by phone. If you like, we can do an online interview meeting, and we'll just have a nice chat about it. I'll give you the information you need. I'll take you through the medical questions if you decide to go that far, and we can figure out if it makes sense for you. I'll give you all the information. You're welcome to think about it, call me back, do whatever you like. But remember, the best day to have bought life insurance was yesterday. The next best day is today, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So let's get our plans together and be organized and do what's best for our family. I hope this has been helpful. Burton Langille, Seabright, Nova Scotia. And you'll find a link to my calendar, probably in Facebook somewhere or on the page. And just if there's a form, just fill it out, drop it to me. I'll get in touch with you as soon as possible. And just let me know what you need, what you want, what's important to you. Because this is a worthy cause. We're doing it for the people we love. Thank you so much.